Megan.
Hello. Oh, Megan. Hello.
Hey,
Hi. Hey, thanks for having Jim on. You know, you know a little bit about how much of frustration that we encountered with the campaign, and
oh yeah.
I guess I'll just, I'll name a few names too, because Amanda Lead was a complete joke, and as far as I know, I think that Lou Moore went to work for John McCain after Ron Paul pulled out. But I have to say that the sabotage was so apparent in many places, but very, very much more importantly apparent here, because Pennsylvania was kind of like the last shot. And they basically told us, we refuse to give you one dime for one ad anywhere, not even print ads, nothing. And at this point, Ron Paul was actually in double digits on the polling. And they refused to give any money for that. We had already had in November a huge rally for him, and we were prepared. It would have taken 2 days to put together the same size rally and have another 5,000 person rally at Independence Mall in front of the Liberty Bell. They refused to do that. Instead, they picked out very remote colleges, 3 hours from any major city, to have very small rallies of around 800 people apiece. And they had the money at this point to do major ad campaign in this state. And here's the saddest part. Here's the saddest part. Ron Paul got 16% in this state with not one ad run. Mike Huckabee got 11%. It's not like John McCain did well here. 27% of the people at that point, Republicans, said, we don't want John McCain. And the Paul campaign knew this.
Well,
and
it's not only that, but there were people...
Pardon me?
I was just going to say, but there were people also manipulating the publicity in the campaign. We tried over and over and over and over again to get Ron Paul to come on our program, and his quote-unquote handlers wouldn't allow this to happen, despite the fact that...
Wait a second. He was only allowed to go on Alex Jones' show.
Right.
Yeah. And
here we are. We went out and bought a freaking bus, and we're driving the whole thing all over the country, plastered Ron Paul. I was at the Iowa caucus. You saw the bus, Megan, in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all there. I mean, we took that thing coast to coast. Well, we didn't make it out the West Coast, but my gosh, everywhere, from Missouri eastward, we were all over the country with that bus, and we couldn't get time of day from Ron Paul. We couldn't understand why. We've known the man for 10 years. I wrote dinner with him and his wife back in, what was it, 97 or something?
With him, and you wrote a song for him also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a friend on the campaign here who actually worked for another congressman who had a face-to-face meeting about having this rally again in Independence Mall. And as far as Dr. Paul is concerned, he's like, yeah, let's do it. And Amanda Lee, the, 20-something Wonder Woman of the campaign, managed to mess that up. So, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of sabotage going on from that campaign, and I wrote them a very scathing letter to let them know that they weren't pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. Not everyone was bedazzled by their incompetence, quite frankly.
Wow. Megan, thank you for the call. I appreciate that. Listen, we got about 30 seconds before the music starts for the next break. Let me have Jim Kahn to comment on that. And we get back from the break. Joan in New York, you'll be up right after the break, I promise you. She's been holding on patiently for so long. Go ahead, Joe.
So, what the Megan just said is true in every state. Of course, Pennsylvania was one of the more egregious. And if they gave Ron Paul 16% on the computers, he may have got 30%. So, we just don't know, because all those votes except in New Hampshire, half of New Hampshire are counted in secret, and the Iowa caucus, but the Iowa elections are also counted in secret. So, votefraud.org, if you don't mind me mentioning, is my website. People can get up to speed on the vote thing, and there was tremendous sabotage. It was like New World Order appointed agents that we've named. I think were there. I finally said the paid staff of the Ron Paul.
Hey, listen, I hate to interrupt. We got the commercial break. The music plays. I said 30 seconds. I wasn't kidding. We'll be back in just about 3 minutes to wrap it up with our guest, Jim Cotta Jr. Stay with us. Let's go to Joan in New York. Our first-timer. Welcome to the Power Team.
Oh, thank you very much for taking my call. I just want to say that you do give a lot of people, hope in these times.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. How? What are we doing right here?
To be honest with you, it's just everything that you say. You give a little bit of hope through, there's like that little beam of light through the massive clouds.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you just give, you kind of open the door and make people think, and I think that's great.
Well, thank you so much. What's your question or comment for the guest, Jim Condit? Go ahead.
Oh, well, it's just a quick comment because last night I rented out the movie Loose Change, but that's nothing to do with it. But it kind of, the truth is, I mean, with like all the stolen money, with dramatic money, I mean, to be honest with you, isn't everything about like greed and power? I mean, that's really the bottom line. And I mean, truthfully speaking, I think all the money went towards redecorating their underground shelters, if you ask me. But
I think he's right. I think so.
no, yeah, I mean, it's true. Think about it. It's true. And, I mean, like, look at the Titanic. I mean, didn't the banking thing happen after the Titanic sunk? I mean, doesn't it all make sense? It's all about money and power. It's all about, and it's never going to change.
Joe, thank you so much. You're right.
Okay, hon.
Hey, good to hear from you. Go ahead, Jim.
Just briefly, I think that we also have to focus on who is in each era, who is the ones who are pushing the greed and exploiting the rest, trying to exploit the rest of the population. And that's why I think it's important that, you know, it is the top Zionist faction organized. There's many street-level Jewish people who are Zionists just because they think Jews should have a homeland. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the top Zionist bankers and the top Freemasons, and again, distinguished from the local guys who just eat meat and so forth. The Rockefellers, the CFR, these are the two factions. And if you peel back the onion layers, you're going to run into these two factions, and they need to be investigated, arrested, put on trial. They're the key players, you know, not indiscriminately. Those who have held power and have done this to the country in banking, in the war, all that. So I don't think we can just be as general as to just say it's human greed. It's that, but we have a very organized. Really, it's an organized, open conspiracy that's trying to bring America down in favor of a godless New World government.
Absolutely it is. Listen, we're just about out of time here. Jim, would you again give your contact information, your website? You know, if people want to email you, if you had a phone number, give it all out right now.
Okay, votefraud votefraud.org, votefraud.org is our main website on VoteFraud. My email address is votefraud@fuse.net. That's Frank United Sam Edward, votefraud@fuse.net. If people want to email me, and then from email, if need be, we can get into phone contact. So I appreciate you having us on. Sorry for all the run-on paragraphs with no period.
Oh, no. No, I understand. You know, you've been at this for a long time. You're a plethora of information, and I know exactly what it's like when somebody says, okay, here's a quart jar container. You've got a 55-gallon drum of stuff to put in it. It ain't going to work, you know. So, no, I definitely appreciate that. Good to have you back on the program, Jim.
And thanks for all your, Joyce and Dave, thanks for all your work on the 9/11 and everything else, okay?
Oh, hey, look, we're all in the same foxhole. We're just, you know, just doing different duty. That's what it boils down to. Jim Condit Jr., thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All righty. Time once again to stand up. Stretch those legs, take a deep breath, and scream from the top of your lungs and the bottoms of your soul. We will not stop. God bless you all.
See you tomorrow and have a blessed day.
You have the power. This is the ECN Radio Network.